There is a new huge banking relationship for Ripple, and I'm going to talk about that bank and, more importantly, a huge partnership that I think could be right around the corner in this video. That being said, this would be huge for XRP in the future, so make sure you stay for the whole thing. You won't want to miss it. As always, your help means a lot to this channel. Thank you to everyone who liked the movies and signed up for the channel. These two easy things help me a lot. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy XRP, that's where I list my best exchange in the video's description. So let's get started, and I hope you all enjoy what's coming up. Guys, to start this video, I want to talk about something really interesting I saw earlier today. A note by Anderzel that said, "I've never met a hater that understands how the XRP ledger works." I then said, "I've yet to have a conversation with anyone I would consider intelligent who doesn't like or understand XRP. There's a lot of XRP FUD out there, but most of the people who say it don't know what they're talking about." That's the main point I want to make. That person is either obviously wrong or giving false information, or they're not very smart and are having a hard time understanding what cryptocurrency is. I can't believe how many people say bad things about XRP, but then go off and promote a complete scam or something that isn't a scam but has much worse fundamentals than XRP. It's crazy how many people there are, especially those with big followings. Though one thing that really interests me is that I have yet to have a talk with a very smart person who says, well, I have this, and this problem with XRP. You know, not all of those people hold XRP. Some of them would rather hold Bitcoin, right? That's fine. But I haven't had a real talk with someone I think is smart and intelligent who comes up to me and says, you know what? I don't like XRP or it's a scam. Actually, give me a good reason for why I don't like Ripple. Every time I have one of these conversations, it's an emotional one with someone who doesn't really understand cryptocurrency and is just making things up based on what they may have heard or a false belief or FUD that they haven't been able to get past from 4 years ago. When you look at the people who say so many bad things about XRP, it's interesting to see that many of them aren't really serious or even really understand cryptocurrencies in general. There are so many people who don't like that Ripple is selling XRP, but are involved in some other token that is being inflated to infinity. Also, this is a very important note to tell you all that you are the experts when it comes to XRP. A lot of people who watch these shows know a lot more about XRP than some of the biggest names in the crypto world. That will change over time. But right now, it's very important to know that if you hear someone talking about XRP, it might not be because they know more than you. It could be because they know a lot less than you. You probably have a big advantage over them that, isn't always clear because they have so many fans. But you should always tell yourself of that. This is something I've always done, but I've never had a chat with someone I thought was very smart and intelligent who would even try to talk about some of the XRP FUD that's going around the market. And it's just different kinds of people who are contributing. That will go away in time, and we're already seeing that happen. If you look at the Galaxy Crypto Index Fund, which just came out, you can see that XRP is getting a lot more weight. This was 4% under Solana and is now around 14%. People and big investment companies are putting different amounts of money into XRP at very fast rates. There was a lot of false information about XRP when I first started using it. It blew my mind completely. The trouble was that there wasn't much to show that FUD wasn't true, right? A lot of it was just guesses that could never be proven, right? There were a lot of claims made against Ripple, but we didn't have any proof that they were true. However, we did not have any proof to show that those claims were false. A lot of people said, okay, well, if you don't have proof, I'm not going to believe it. So now that the Ripple SEC case is over, we did a full, I don't know what the right word is, colonoscopy of the company Ripple and couldn't find a single bad thing about it, or XRP. At this point, a lot of that FUD is just not true. It didn't stay. It wasn't true at all. Now, those who are still spreading it are probably just doing it because they feel like it, right? They didn't get XRP. They weren't given cheap VC tokens. I don't know what it is. But what these people are saying has no real value left. Now, the smart, non-emotional people are saying, this random guy who's been telling me XRP is bad for 5 years and has made me miss out on XRP has been wrong the whole time. I might not want to listen to him. Some of the big things Ripple is doing that will change XRP and the whole coin market are also something I might want to pay attention to. Things like this brand new relationship between Ripple and BBVA that just started. Now, BBVA has been a partner of Ripple for a long time, but now they are adding custody to their relationship. The biggest banks in the world are starting to use cryptocurrency, which is a huge step forward for Ripple. Because this is why cryptocurrencies exist. They were made to bring the banking world into the digital age and make it more automated. In order to make that happen, Ripple is working with banks. In the beginning, the main idea behind cryptocurrencies was to address problems with money flow, make transactions faster, and settle them quickly in a decentralized way. XRP is the best cryptocurrency for that. Who moves money around like this more than anyone else? You're not going to buy Starbucks or Venmo your friend food, right? It's the business world. These are the people who will gain the most from this new technology, those who move the most money. It's really easy. The company that works with these old companies the most to improve their lines to something better and more efficient. Hey, this is Ripple. Some people make it sound like it's a really hard to understand deal. Well, I don't know what the point of XRP is. What Ripple is doing doesn't make sense to me. No other use of cryptocurrency is as clear to me as what Ripple is doing with XRP. If you come to me and say, I don't get what XRP is for, what do you get? In other words, what makes sense to you? Because you don't know where the simplest and most clear uses of cryptocurrency are, right? For example, do you know anything about cryptocurrency? That is one of my main questions all the time. Additionally, guys, it's no longer a matter of whether or not the banks want it, right?